go. Let's go. As one Crookshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker, checking in for a daily Move Swiftly thought, giving you a perspective on teamwork that you will not get anywhere else. Let's get into this, man. Let's get into this, because a couple of weeks ago, I went on a rant about the fact that Mr. Donald Trump, in this recording this, by the way, March 2nd, 2024, an election year, all right? So we have candidate Donald Trump, a couple of weeks ago, putting out $400 pair of sneakers, and it was said on national TV that, okay, this is resonating with the black voters, right? This is resonating with the black people. Black people are going to vote for Trump because he has, sneakers out now. All right, now we have the other side, current President Joe Biden. Recently it came out, and I don't know, I'm not sure how recent it actually is, and I know for a fact that I wouldn't have even known about this had Stephen A. Smith not went on a rant about it on his platform, on his podcast, in which President Joe Biden, apparently in Raleigh, North Carolina, he bought a black family some fried chicken. And I watched the video. I saw, just watching the interaction between President Joe Biden, the black father, and the two black boys was an absolute trigger for me, and it fucks with me so many ways, because there's so many triggers that were hit just in the patronizing, in the bullshit, in the way that you had this black father who's clearly doing what he has to do, clearly doing a great job as a black father, being there for his kids, but he has to be on camera kind of having this white guy validate his ability as a father, as he tells his son, why don't you tell President Biden about all the things you're doing in sports and stuff, just having to have some sort of conversation, avoiding the fact that, look, to be honest with you, these two little black boys don't give a fuck who President Biden is. There would have been a whole lot more if you want to bring somebody to have dinner with them, it would have been a whole lot more productive if you brought in a LeBron James or somebody that actually plays sports, somebody that he probably knows more about than President Joe Biden, because it's only during the political season that he even hears about him in the national media or whatever, right? That was the trigger for me. And I could go on hours upon hours about just that concept alone. But let's dive into the issue. Let's dive into the way we need to be taken away from this. And for me to preference everything, I'm just going to let you know now, you are listening and hearing from a person who has experienced racism from white people. I've experienced being actually physically assaulted by two white teachers when I was in high school. I've lived through this, and this is why, again, these types of tactics, this type of bullshit, this type of stereotypical bullshit where, okay, if you're a black guy, you wear sneakers, a black guy like fried chicken, all that stereotypical bullshit, it strikes a different type of chord with me, okay? Because as one Crookshank, I am black through and through. I'm black over the phone, right? As soon as I tell people my name, okay, this is a black guy. There's no ducking around it. There's no, all right, I can be in a white, no. As one is having to deal, as one Crookshanks of the world, the ones who have that unique name, all right, we have to get through all those stereotypes. We have to live in those stereotypes, and people will judge us before they even meet us. They'll judge me as the typical black guy before they even meet me. They don't know, hey, I listen to country, I'm into all sorts of music. I'm all of a sudden, because I'm black and because I have the powerful name that I have, again, I'm always being judged as that typical black guy, and I'm always dealing with the stereotypes. And hey, I'm not on here complaining about it. It's part of what makes me me, part of what makes me unique, part of what builds my brand and builds my company and builds my business the way I want to build it. At the same time, it took some growth, it took some acceptance, it took some personal growth on my end, a lot of self-development on my end, in order for me to continuously be comfortable in my own skin, continuously be comfortable as a public speaker, and out here just sharing my truth with you every single day. All right. And the takeaways, what we have to understand, well, first of all, it was said there's two places I want to take you to. All right. It was a situation, I think it was like a rally a couple years ago. I think this is when Trump was in office, or they're trying to get about 4 years. It might have been 4 years ago. I don't remember how long it was, but I know Killer Mike was on a panel discussion. And he said something really powerful, and it's worth repeating. All right. It was him, T.I., Candace Owens, and a couple other, well-known politicians, organizers, and things like that. And Killer Mike was listening. I think it was an argument between Candace Owens and T.I. and some other people that were on the panel. And Killer Mike came on and said, hey, look, y'all are arguing about who's got the best slave master. All right, y'all are arguing about who's got the best slave master. And then he went on a rant about, all right, y'all need to go home, study your Maya Angelou, study your W.E.B. Du Bois, study the people that they don't talk about in the school system, study all of the black heroes, the African Americans that are organizers, that have made a difference and never got the national media attention. Study those folks, and what you're going to come away with is we as black people can be the ones that need to change. We as black people can be powerful enough. We are leaders. We're not just athletes and rappers and all that other shit. We are people that can use our intellectual property in order to make a change and get the America that we want. All right, that is what we have to do, because again, as you can see, whether it is Biden, whether it is Trump, whether it is Republican, Democrat, doesn't matter. The whole system is set up for us to have to use white people to validate what we do, which is what got said indirectly just by their actions. And everyone with a level of common sense already knows actions speak louder than words. It's your actions. It's the fact that you would put out $400 pairs of sneakers and think that, okay, now I could get the black people to vote for me. And sadly, in many situations, that actually may fucking work. It's sad that you would even think that buying a black, and if you really think about it, like how we did, when you think about the conversation, all right, when you think about the conversation, you're talking to these two black kids about playing sports, about being a basketball player, and you buy them fried chicken. You don't buy them a salad, motherfucker. You don't buy them a motherfucker something that's going to actually help their playing career. You buy them something that's going to fatten them up, not some grilled shit. You know, you have to buy them fried chicken, right? Right? Really? All right. And that actually brings me to the second thing that we got to walk away with. Understand how I actually even came into this or even heard about this bullshit. It was because I was watching the Stephen A. Smith show. Had Stephen A. Smith not put this on his podcast, I probably wouldn't have even known that this conversation between Biden and this black family happened. Again, he has his own platform. He has his own thing where he's building. Again, everyone may not agree with him, and you know he's going to be wrong a lot. And there's many times in which he's owned the fact that he's wrong. In fact, it was in his memoir. In which he said, "Look, I go to work every day, being responsible for the way an entire ethnicity, or where an entire race of group, entire race of people are supposed to act and supposed to think." That's heavy, right? That's heavy, but it's because of his platform that I was able to say, okay, I see where you're going, and I need to step up and I need to speak on these situations. That's how it should work. Instead, we're so focused on some beef between him and Jason Whitlock, and we're trying to nitpick and did he actually play, or how many points a game he scored and all that shit. And again, I'm not here saying it's true or it's not true and all that other bullshit. I'm here saying, why the fuck is that even a story? Why the hell do we even care about his athletic playing career if he played? Let's think about what he's doing. Let's think about the doors he's opened. Let's think about the fact that he has his own platform, and let's start to celebrate that, believe in that, and start to use that as inspiration to build up our own platforms. Those are the takeaways. And instead of fighting each other, so because we don't have any more time, we cannot be fighting each other anymore, because we see what the reality is. We see what the reality is, right? See the way that the patronizing and all that other stuff. We see the way it all is. All right? Let me slow down, because I'm losing it right now. I knew this topic, just the topic in general, was going to get me a little fired up. But main point that we have to take away from everything that we're seeing, all the political tactics, the marketing campaigns, and the way we as black people are being portrayed in the media, we have to understand it's important. It's important for us to build up our own platforms, create our own opportunities, work together to find the answers, not expect any bailouts from government or any help from government. Again, if it comes, it comes, and we're appreciative of it, but we got to start to work together to create opportunities for ourselves and not have this victim mentality, not do things and are so quick to jump onto this victim mentality. Because if you understand, if you think about it, if you really dive into it, man, 4 years ago when when we saw what happened with George Floyd, it was so much of Black Lives Matter, this, all of that stuff has died down, and it just took 4 years. There was no plan, all right? We got to start coming together. We got to start coming together, or we will never actually be free in this country, all right? Main website to check out to dive deeper into all my work, makeyamove.com. That's MAKEYAMOVE.com. One-stop shop for all your teamwork and your self-development needs. As one Crookshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker, checking out. You guys continue to move swiftly. We will talk more soon.